Our society no longer wants to produce energy from non-renewable resources such as fossil fuels or coal. It has many reasons, mainly for ecology and sustainability. The European Union currently consumes 23% of energy from renewable resources, with an ambitious goal to become the world's first climate-neutral continent by 2050. We think that solar energy can be a big player in this goal in the future. Currently, solar energy makes up about 15% of produced renewable energy. This may not seem a lot, but it's the fastest growing electricity source with the most technological development. Solar energy surely sounds interesting if we consider that a total of 173,000 terawatts of solar energy strikes the Earth each second. This is more than 10,000 times the world's total energy consumption per 1 year. To convert this sun-emitted energy into electrical energy, we use solar panels. Solar panels are made out of solar cells. An individual photovoltaic cell is usually small, typically producing about 1 or 2 watts of power. These cells are made of different semiconductor materials, most commonly silicon.
This whole concept fascinated us, so we decided to make our own solar station. Now we will show you the process of making it. We have found some simple schematic which uses a well-known 555 timer on the internet and made some changes. In the beginning, we had to design our circuit board in software called Eagle. After we finished the design, we proceeded to make our printed circuit board. We printed our design on the greasy paper and used the laminator to stick the toner from the paper to the board. Then we put it in the ferric chloride to remove all the redundant copper. The next step was to grind the edges so they could have a nice shape and drill the holes for the components into the circuit board. Then it came to soldering the components. Now that we have our circuit board ready, it's time to test it. To prove its functionality, we will charge a battery using our solar station. Before we can do that, we had to set the voltage limit for charging the battery. Each battery can have different parameters, so before plugging in other types of batteries, it's necessary to make sure that the voltage limits are okay for the battery. And this is how it works. We are using a 12 volt 4 amp hour lead acid battery and solar panel which can give us a current up to 300 milliamps. On the left you can see the amp meter which is measuring the amount of current that is running to the battery. This value is a little bit lower than the current from the panel because the controller consumes a little bit of energy. On the right you can see voltmeter which is measuring the actual voltage of the battery. Here you can see that if we cover even a small part of the solar panel, the current goes rapidly down because the solar panel is made of solar cells connected in series. Now you can see that the sunlight intensity lowered at this moment. This led to a drop in the current. This shows us that the amount of produced current is dependent on sunlight intensity. When the battery reached a set voltage of 13.15 volt, it was fully charged. Thus, the solar panel stopped charging the battery. The ammeter was showing a negative current which was consumed by the controller. After connecting the 4.5 amp load for a few seconds to discharge the battery a bit, the voltage of the battery dropped and the controller started charging again. Now that we have our fully charged battery, we can use it, for example, to power our phone. We plug the phone in and as you can see, it's working. The phone is charging purely from clean photovoltaic energy.
We are glad to say that our solar station is fully working as intended. In this experiment, you could see the wonders of solar energy. When the sun was shining, it was producing a strong source of energy. On the other hand, this is also the biggest downside. It is the weather-dependent source of energy. Although solar energy can still be collected during cloudy and rainy days, the efficiency of solar system drops. Solar panels are dependent on sunlight to effectively gather solar energy. People can also be frustrated by the fairly high initial price to buy and install the solar panel. But when you install it, you have an energy generating source for around 30 years. The good news is the solar technologies are constantly developing, so it is safe to assume that price will go down in the future. That is everything from us. Thank you for watching our video.